Hi, and thanks to Kathleen Wayland of Wayland Financial at 128 Buckland in LaSalle for sponsoring this weekly project. And once again, if you're hearing this on the radio on Sunday morning, you're going to want to see the video at the Star of Rock Media YouTube channel. You're going to want to see this story. Thomas Duffy is a 26-year-old young man many of you already know. He's been quietly pursuing his interests in golf and basketball for years. Thomas has limited mobility due to an illness he suffered when he was 9. So from a wheelchair, he's accomplished things most of us will never come close to achieving. He's an inspiration. But this young man is not a self-promoter, so I came over to visit him at his home in Utica this week. He had returned recently from an adaptive golf tournament in Rockville, Maryland. He did well there. He had an amazing moment that he's going to share with you too. You're going to hear all about that right now.
Wheelchair basketball, that was my primary sport in high school. And then all throughout college, and so I played a lot of basketball, and then while I was in high school, I also was on the high school golf team for Ottawa Township High School. That was a great learning experience my freshman and sophomore year, and then junior year, I was fortunate enough to get selected for a U.S. under 23 team to go over and play in Japan. And so kind of took golf a little bit away to focus more on wheelchair basketball, and was fortunate enough to play my junior and senior year of high school in Japan. Then right after that, I did play for the University of Illinois all 6 years. Normally you're allowed 5 years, but with COVID, we were allowed an extra 1 year to play, and so decided to come back and get my master's degree and play a last year of basketball. Ironically, before my injury, I played everything but basketball. I loved playing baseball. I played a little bit of golf. I wanted to play football. My mom always told me I was a little too small to play football, but mostly baseball. And then right after I got injured, I was at the BMW Classic, and then a stranger at the time, he approached me about playing wheelchair basketball and didn't know anything about it, and that moment will forever change my life.
How long did it take to master it?
You never fully master it, to be honest. There's so many aspects of the game where
it looks so fast, and so it takes so much coordination and fast movement and quick movement. How do you get acclimated to that?
So you do have a lot of training at the University of Illinois. We had to do chair skills once a week, and then you're always utilizing those skills in every drill you try and do. And so it's about having quick hands, quick instincts, and then ultimately what kind of helped me the most is just a good feel for the game where I can anticipate where things are going before it happens, and so that really helped me. The University of Illinois actually started wheelchair basketball. It was with Tim Nugent, and so it was after World War II where the veterans came back and he got that program started. So now I believe there are around 10 or 11 teams total, and so the sport's really growing.
Tell me about golf. When did you start playing golf?
So I started playing golf around 10 or 11, played all through high school, was fortunate enough to make my high school team and was in the top 6 so I could play in tournaments. And that was really, really good. And at the time, adaptive golf wasn't really a thing, and so did have to play the ball down, played from the regular tees, and so it was challenging where I'd usually hit driver, then 3-wood on almost every hole. And so that was really good for my game, just because I got really good at hitting a 3-wood, really good at hitting the ball a little bit further and learning my short game really quickly. And so I played all throughout high school, took a little hiatus to focus on basketball a little bit more, and then right around my junior year of college I started playing quite a bit better where I'd shoot consistent 70s, and then recently after that, the USGA put on the U.S. Adaptive Open, and that's when we started to get more interested in adaptive golf. Was fortunate enough to qualify for the first one, the second one, and then this last one in Rockville, Maryland. And so my game's really developed quite a bit in the past couple of years, and fortunate enough to have the training capacity here at my house to help do that, and then I play a lot locally too. The U.S. Adaptive Open, that was in Rockville, Maryland at Woodmont Country Club, and so the whole process of that, you have to go to a qualifier. There's 9 of them across across the country, and so I'm usually competing against 40 other people in that qualifier to make sure that I make it. I believe there were 6 or 7 of them. And then the course itself was really good, very high level course, and was fortunate enough to be there and placed second in my division, the seeded division. And so the seed division consists of anybody using one of the adaptive carts, and there's a couple different versions of that. I use a solo rider golf cart, and then other people use different brands of carts that are better for them, but my division is considered a seeded division.
So this is your cart.
So this is my adaptive cart. Basically, everything is hand controlled. I have to use a seatbelt, otherwise I'd go flying.
Yeah.
But the seat essentially stands me up, and then the seatbelt holds me in long enough to hit a shot.
Oh my goodness.
And so kind of allows me to do whatever I need to do.
So you took up both these sports after your injury.
Yeah.
Was it just something you just wanted to do? And who encouraged you to do this?
So I've always been a competitive person. Like for basketball and golf, it was never about the social, more so about just competing, and I always strive to win. And so just a very competitive person, and then was fortunate enough to have the support from my family and their.
But you just sort of said you had a goal, and you worked it with your family. I want to golf, and I want to play basketball.
Right.
And you put it together, and now you've been successful at both of them.
All right.
Well, let's see some golf.
All right. That one should be a little bit better.
Cool. Right down the middle. Ever hit a hole-in-one?
So, out at the tournament, during the second practice day, on the 8th hole, I actually did hit my first hole-in-one. And so that was pretty sweet, where I had probably 30 or 40 people watching, hit a pitching wedge about 112 yards, hit it perfect, it checked out in the rough, checked again, and then I got to see the ball disappear. And so that was pretty sweet. The group ahead of us was waiting on the group ahead of them, and they all went nuts because they were watching it, and the group behind us heard it, so they went nuts. And then afterwards, I think I was on the 18 green for about an hour, just because you'd have the club members coming up to you saying, "Oh, I heard you got in a hole-in-one, that's awesome." The mayor came up, congratulated, had some spectators, some kids. And
the mayor of Rockville, Maryland came over.
Yeah, and so got to meet her, and so it was a really good experience.
Were you able to believe your eyes when it happened? Or did it take a reaction from other people before you really realized it?
There was probably about 2 or 3 seconds afterwards where I just couldn't believe it happened, and then everyone went nuts, and then I did too. I actually was invited to go to the Illini Golf Classic at Olympia Fields in September, and so kind of getting prepared to play well there. But then as far as adaptive tournaments go, I'm pretty much done for the year. I might go out to Pennsylvania one more time, but then ultimately getting ready for the next U.S. Adaptive Open next year.
What are your goals with your business degrees?
Right now, I'm currently looking for a job, something involved in any kind of athletics. I'd love to get involved in golf, and then I've got some other interests in marketing and some other business. I think there's a common misconception with people in wheelchairs where they're not able to do a lot of things, and ultimately, I think that if you're willing and have the desire and have the drive to go out and do something, you really can just do whatever you ultimately want to do. There's always a way, and I learned that a lot through adaptive golf, where you see everybody, whether you're missing an arm, missing a leg, you can still hit a golf ball. And then that same applies for wheelchair basketball, and so you learn that throughout those avenues.
Well, thank you to Thomas Duffy for sharing his time and his skills and his thoughts. Thank you for watching, too. You know, Thomas's mom, Ann, and I went to school together as kids, and you can see her love for her son in the young man that he's become. And thanks to Kathleen Wayland of Wayland Financial at 128 Buckland in LaSalle. I'll talk to you in the morning.